There was a time in Georgia law in which gender did play a role in divorce. There was a time when you almost never saw a father getting custody of children. You always saw the wife getting alimony, but never a husband. Those days are gone. Um, we have become a society of gender neutrality. However, in a divorce where you have the typical structure of a family where the husband is the primary breadwinner, and the wife has been either a secondary breadwinner or a stay-at-home mom raising children and supporting the husband in his career. When you have those circumstances, the wife is entitled to an equitable division of all the property, everything acquired during the marriage from either of their efforts. She may be entitled to alimony. She often is granted custody of the children because she's been the primary caregiver of the children, and that's one of the factors the court looks at. She's entitled to child support based upon child support guidelines, which is a mathematical formula. And she's entitled to consideration of the efforts and the time she's put into the marriage. If the husband has built a career and is a high earner, and the wife has stayed home and cared for children and been a homemaker, she's certainly entitled to a lifestyle that she would have expected somewhat like they would have had during the marriage. It's not going to be the same because there's two households, but she is entitled to some support from him based on her need and his ability to pay. Attorney fees can be awarded to either party based on the facts and circumstances of the parties. And that's also, the court looks at each of them's ability to pay those fees, as well as the way the litigation took place. If someone's been extremely litigious and caused the fees to go up, they may end up paying attorney fees because of that. Often the wife is given her automobile that she's been customarily driving. Many times we see her getting the marital home so that the children can stay in the home. These are all general statements, though. Each case is an individual case and must be properly evaluated based on the facts and circumstances of that individual case. I'm often asked about spousal support, or the most common term, alimony. The wife is usually the one that receives alimony, but not always. Alimony is support paid by one spouse to another based upon need and the ability of the income earner to pay. You have to gather all the facts and the circumstances in order to establish what that need is, and then you have to gather the facts to show that the other party has the ability to pay money to them based on the facts and circumstances of that particular case. In a divorce, all property acquired during the marriage is marital property if it's acquired through the efforts of either party. Any property that either of them owned prior to the marriage that has not been commingled with marital property placed in the other party's name, etc., or that has been received through gift or inheritance from a third party, again, that has not been commingled, is separate property. The court can divide only the marital property. Now, what does that mean? That means that they're going to divide things based on the values of each item, and generally you're going to have two columns. This is what the wife's getting, this is what the husband's getting. The husband might say, well, is she going to get all my car collection? Well, I had a case where the husband owned probably 15 different antique cars. The court ended up dividing them between the parties. It happens because it was all acquired during the marriage from the income and the efforts of the parties. The court's going to look at what's fair and reasonable under the circumstances. Just because he says that's mine or she says that's mine doesn't mean that they're going to be able to keep that particular asset. If you are a stay-at-home parent, usually it's a mother, but not always. Sometimes it's a father. And you're worried about what's going to happen when you get a divorce, that you're going to end up just penniless. That's just not the case. The court can make provision based on equity for your support and the support of the children based on what's fair and reasonable under the circumstances. It may be through alimony, it may be through child support, it may be through equitable division of property. Come see us, and we will listen to what your circumstances are and give you advice as to what you can expect in a divorce. You're not going to be left penniless if there are assets in the marriage. It's not uncommon to see a circumstance where maybe the father has built a good career. Maybe he's a professional athlete. Maybe he's a doctor or even a lawyer, such as myself. And the mother has been a stay-at-home mom, raising her children and supporting the husband in his career. Under those circumstances, he's going to pay a lot of money out in order to keep her up because she's earned it. She did what she did on the expectation that this marriage would continue and that she would be taken care of. And the court's going to make provisions for her needs. If you have any questions about what you're entitled to in a divorce, come to Daniels and Taylor. Our professional attorneys will talk to you and give you sound advice. We're here to help.